Hey, Genki Call here with Raid Boss for the weekend of December 31st, 2021. First things first, let's head into the shop because I have to show you this new weapon. It's my favorite type of weapon in the game. On the third tier, you can get the Emerald Blade. The Emerald Blade is going to explode a bunch of gems, grant a random status effect to all Silverglade allies, and then summon a Silverglade troop if there is a spot open on your team. I love this kind of weapon. My favorite. Anyway, I had to go ahead and purchase this. I'm going to use it on some of my teams. I do have teams with and without legendaries for you. I'm not using a mythic. I have Queen Aurora, but I'm not using her at this moment for this video. I might later, I don't know. But also want to mention there are two mythics that you can pull if you're very, very lucky from the shop here. And those are the Will of Nisha and Queen Aurora. There's a possibility. It is rare, but it can happen. All right, so let's go in. I will share my first team with you, and it's kind of a cheese team, so to speak. We've got the Black Manacles, which hopefully all of you have that are lower level. This is something you get just for mana mastery for purple and brown. And then, now, got to point out, this does say that it can devour. However, Raid boss Zuul is 100% invulnerable. You can't stun him, you can't curse him, you can't devour him. There is absolutely no status effect or lethal damage that you can do to him. That's why you need Lord Ehrondil. But this is for the early levels. Early on, you're not even going to be fighting Zuul, so you can just use whatever you have that's fastest. Enchantress will do damage to all enemies, and she'll enchant a random ally. Don't cast her right away because it would kind of be a waste when they're already all enchanted. But Princess Elspeth is here. She's going to create some mana for you. She's going to take out a troop and replace it with a knight. The knight isn't necessarily going to be from Silverglade. It could be a knight from any kingdom, and it could be a mythic. So it's, it's just kind of a fun team to use. Not necessarily the best team, but I think it'll be fun anyway. So let's give it a try. I have not tried out any of these teams yet. But now I could just grab this mana and finish off, but I really want to see what Elspeth is going to do here. So she summoned in this guy, Sir Alamir. He does some damage, cool. And just because I have an extra turn for, it's a free turn. She is empowered if you have her, oh my gracious, if you have her fully traded, she will be empowered. And then she will get an extra turn if she makes a match 4 from her stuff. But basically, I always just kill her. But if I don't like this troop, I'll just go ahead and do that again. And we'll pick another one and rinse and repeat. Just because it's fun, I want to do it again. So you can see I've got all kinds of things coming up. Like I said, you could get a mythic out of it, which is very nice. I do have another team for those of you without legendaries. And I'm going to show it to you, but I'm not going to use it right this minute simply because it's kind of no point in it right away. On these early levels, you really want to get things done as quickly as possible and use use a team that's fast for as long as you can. Until Zuul is not dying anymore, then you need to get Lord Arendelle on your team. So later on, I put Mang on here because I'm assuming this is another weapon that you get from mana mastery, and eliminate all armor from an enemy. So you want to cast this on Zuul, then cast Lord Ehrondil to take him out. Initially, you're not going to need 2 Lord Ehrondils, so you can put another troop in here for in the meantime. So Anyway, I'll show this kind of thing later on, but the Enchantress, you know, damaged all enemies, not going to do you much good later on because she doesn't do much, but it is something and it will help speed things along. So then I also, moving on to teams with legendaries. Now I forgot to mention that every one of these teams is using Elementalist simply because it's the safest option. It stuns, freezes, burns, and entangles all enemies. I mean, a, a random enemy every time you make a match for. Sorry about that. Um, it won't work on Zul'Goth, but it will work on the rest of them, and that makes it much safer for you. Let's see. Next team we've got here is I have to use Tannenbaum. I love that he does triple skull damage versus entangled enemies. He can grab an enemy, pull it to the front, and he's going to entangle them so they can't hurt you if they're not already entangled. You know, if you cast on Zul'Goth, it's not going to entangle him, but still, um, I had to have him here. And then we've got Krystenax. I hate that name. I can't say it. Remove all gems of a chosen color. It's not going to do anything except boost your spell. And it will summon as well. But it does have skull damage reduction by 50%, which is more than Tannenbaum, but doesn't have the triple skull damage. Then we've got Vanya Soulmourn, who's going to do damage to all enemies, boosted by blessed allies. She is a summoner, and she's going to bless a random ally on 4+ gem matches. And then the new weapon that I love so much, explode all those purple gems, blah, yada yada, that I already went over. But let me show you the upgrades. We've got attack, armor, attack, life, magic, gain 4 life, fairy fire the first enemy, which means any spell damage you do to them is going to be boosted by, I think, 50%. Deal 5 damage to the first enemy and give all green allies 2 mana. I had to use it. I love this type of weapon. So obviously, this does not have our Godslayer on the team. And let me go over the Godslayer since we're talking about that. So Lord Ehrondil is a Godslayer. You do not have to have him traded. If you don't have the trait stones to trade him, it's okay. You're not going to want him at the front of your team anyway because he has no skull damage reduction. And you're not going to have, I mean, you're going to have to go through 3 enemies before you can do skull damage on Zul'Goth, unless you use it in tandem with Tannenbaum, in which case it would work. And, you know, that's another route you can take, just not something that I'm interested in doing because there's no protection for him. But part of his spell is 3 to 5 times damage to the boss, and that is, in this case, raid boss, Zul'Goth. Now, the way you get the 3 times damage is just leave him at his base rarity. If you ascend him to legendary, he'll do 4 times the damage, and if you get him up to mythic like I have, he will do 5 times this damage to Zul'Goth. It's very, very helpful. And that's what the Godslayers and the Siege Breakers are all about. That's the function that they both have, those kinds of troops. Anyway, early on, you don't need him with you. Don't put him on your team till you need him. You may be able to fight Zul'Goth for a while without him, and it's going to be faster. So, we've got a Valraven, we've got a Valraven, so we better take that. Ha ha ha. Oh, darn, I really wanted some skulls. Of course, it's such low level, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to choose a random thing here. Nice and fast. No worries at all. So when you need extra damage for Zul'Goth, you're going to want to add in Arendelle. And so this is one of the teams I put together for when you are facing Zul'Goth and you need that extra damage for Arendelle. With Arendelle, you can do it this way. And we'll do a battle here with this. And then I'll show you an alternative or when you're really high level and you need to do lots of damage, and Zul'Goth isn't being one-shot anymore. So I like his spell, it's pretty. Alright, gonna blow things up because Kapow! Yes, I love to do it. Ah. All right, so I don't want to actually cast with them. I want to take them all out at once. This is an early level. Don't care. Give it to me. Let's get rid of them. Boom! Yay! Oh, that's cute. All right, I do have the next team ready. So again, I'm going with Tannenbaum in the front because I really just want to use him on my team. But what we've got here is Trickster's Shot. It's going to eliminate all armor from an enemy. You always want to target Zuul, then hit him with Lord Ehrondil, and that should take him out. And then we've got Willow to do damage to all enemies. It's boosted by brown gems destroyed, so be sure to look for a row with lots of brown on it to get that extra damage on all of the enemies. Tannenbaum for extra skull damage. I like it. Should be fun. So obviously I don't need this yet, but I'll go ahead and show it to you. And I'm gonna go for brown because I really just want to get Willow going here to do damage to all of them. So, you know, it's all going so beautifully right now, but I haven't even found Zuul yet. There is another route. If you don't have Trickster's Shot, you can try it with Mang or with Earth's Fury. I like the idea of Earth's Fury instead of Mang if you have it, because it's going to eliminate all armor from the enemy. Same thing, target Zuul first, and then hit with Lord Ehrondil. But it's going to give all allies 2 attack boosted by the armor eliminated. And there's a 3-to-1 ratio, and it doesn't matter. When you're at really high levels and you're stripping off a ton of armor, it's going to give all of your allies increased attack, which is especially helpful since Tannenbaum's already going to be doing triple skull damage, hopefully. So I like it. I like it a lot. But I love Trickster's Shot too. So this does work with Mang as well, but Mang will only boost your hero and no one else. So we're really low level. I'll pick this one. It only has 16 armor. Watch 58. We'll just look at Tannenbaum. 58 to 65 just for that little bit of armor that I stripped off. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, and just because we can, I'm going to do that. It's because Vanya's taking a little while to get some mana here. And partially because I'm messing around and being slow. Okay, sure, we'll just do this. Should have gotten rid of the one that can do lycanthropy, of course, but I'm not worried about dying at this level, so I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, those are the teams I have for you. When you need to add in a second Arendelle, you're not going to need to do that until you get higher level. We haven't even hit Zuul yet, but hopefully this has been helpful. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye!